landed one of the league's top free agent wide receivers, one of the only wideouts to sign. Corey Davis, 3 years, $37.5 million brings him to the East Coast. They didn't stop there, though, also agreeing on a deal with former Bengals pass rusher Lawson. That's 3 years, $45 million. Shreyas, we talked about the Jets needing to make a big splash. They added 2 free agents so far. What do we make of the moves? And what could we see coming in the couple of days after this?
Yeah, last week I said the Jets were the most intriguing team going into free agency, and the number one bullet point was culture, culture, culture. Spoke with some of the Jets guys yesterday after these signings. Corey Davis, I don't know personally. Apparently, Corey Davis is a throwback to like when you used to wear leather helmets in football. This is the word that you're getting from a lot of teams, especially the Titans. Corey Davis is football, loves football. Now you can say, well, everyone loves football. No, not every player loves football. Mm-hmm. No, a lot of players play football. Corey Davis is one of those guys, and Kyle, you said it yesterday, eats, breathes, craps football.
Does Corey Davis crap football is my question.
That is the question.
Confirm. Okay.
They say yes, he does. And I know it's not official until tomorrow, but the other two, the defensive moves, Davis, and not Corey Davis, Jared Davis from the Lions, a former 21st overall pick, who a lot of people around the league were telling me last week, like, he's going to have a market. He did. He ends up being a linebacker. And then Lawson, he's been injured a little bit, hasn't had the numbers maybe everyone else has. This guy is 25 years old and just pass rushes. That is what he does. Go and sack the quarterback, unleash him. Now, I think a lot of Jets fans were hoping for a Juju or maybe a Kenny Galladay. It's Corey Davis, it's Lawson, it's Jared Davis. We might add some more. I think they would have loved to have gotten Joe Thuney. Didn't happen that way. He ends up with the Chiefs. That's okay. The Jets are building culture first, which is kind of a departure from what they've done in recent years when they just broke the bank on the biggest name on the board.
No doubt about it. Corey Davis been in the league a handful of years. And to your point, how many times have you heard him speak in front of a microphone? How many times after a game was he running to a reporter to say, me, I want to talk about me, I want to talk about me? He shows up, plays ball, goes home, and it repeats the cycle.
Yeah, so, just at the draft,
he is an absolute football maniac, and I love this signing. And I talked about it a little earlier in the show. He was on the team, and he was appreciated as a Titan. A.J. Brown came in and was phenomenal talent. A young talent, they thought to themselves, all right, we have A.J. Brown and some complimentary players. We don't necessarily need Corey Davis back for the amount of money he wants. They let him go, and he lands in a spot where now he is a true number one, and they needed help in the passing game.
Is he a true number one?
He is a true number one, for sure, because he was a number one before A.J. Brown got to Tennessee, and he still is one, but he's now in a different situation, and he's going to get the rock a lot. So for me, yes, this signing was the biggest signing of the day for me when it came to the Jets.
It is big time. Listen, the reason we didn't hear him talking about it after games is because everybody's talking A.J. Brown, because Corey Davis wasn't as good as A.J. Brown. But I still like this. I like that. I like this Peterson era being like, we don't really know anything about Corey Davis. That's exactly the kind of guy I want. I think that's exactly the kind of guy Robert Saleh wants. I looked it up. Corey Davis got about 40,000 Twitter followers. It's just he's a man of faith. He's about social justice. Like, I don't know if his TikTok is good, if he even has a TikTok. And I think Robert Saleh probably really likes that. Here's the thing, like, Nate, number one receiver in New York City. Let's go, though. Like, there is no other guy. Yeah. Peter, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's the New York Jets' last 1,000-yard receiver? Who was it? Who do you got?
Santana Moss?
Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker in the same season. I believe their quarterback was Ryan Fitzpatrick. We need that. You're making 1,000-yard money now. Like, you get the best corner from the other team. There is no AJ. This is New York City, dude. I love that you're quiet. I love that you have little to say. We don't know anything much about you as a table, but like, we need to score 10 touchdowns this year.
Can the quarterback get him the ball, though? That's the question.
Well, I hope so. The question is it Sam Darnold? I know where you are. Hold the line on Sam Darnold. We're printing T-shirts for you, Kyle Brandt. I ask you, Peter, you're talking about how they're building around culture. That's their leading force. It's how they're adding free agents. These moves that they made yesterday, moves to help their quarterback, is Sam Darnold the quarterback?
I don't think they know yet.
Based on those moves.
I think they're still debating what they're going to do with that.
They don't know, or we don't know?
I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think they've made a firm decision. I still think they haven't done the work on the college quarterbacks fully yet. I still think there's a chance that Zach Wilson blows them away. Still a chance that Trey Lance. I mean, Joe Douglas got on a plane the day before free agency started and went to Fargo, North Dakota to see Trey Lance. He didn't do that because he wanted the miles. I assure you, they are uncovering every stone here. And, Sam Darnold, like we've always said, could be good. Was okay.
It's a risk.
Is he better than the second overall pick at whoever might that be at quarterback? I don't know. Zach Wilson's pro day is coming up. I'm fascinated to see what happens. But in the meantime, in the short term, whoever the quarterback was, Corey Davis is a good addition. So they didn't do anything to cripple that decision, and they kind of can wait on this one, but they're doing the work still.
Maybe you help Darnold with the top 5 overall pick, who's about 6'4" and has nothing to say, and it's all about football. Like that's what I'm hoping, and that is my thing. The best case scenario for the New York Jets is they keep Darnold, trade back the pick.
And now Washington's out of it, one less suitor.
We go back to the wild card round, and we say, oh, the Ravens, they beat the Titans.
Yeah.
One of the big reasons the Titans had issues was Corey Davis went down with an injury in that game. A.J. Brown was double-teamed. Khalif Raymond couldn't do anything against the Ravens cornerbacks. If Corey Davis is healthy in that game, maybe the Titans hold on to that lead because they were up early in that game and win. So Jets fans wondering, what are we getting from Corey Davis? A really, really good player, but also a good person to build upon. I don't know if you win Super Bowls with just character guys. You need to have some game to you as well. That's the hope, that he can be better in New York.
You've got all the trade rumors right here on Good Morning Football. You're a little surprised to hear Sam Darnold's not a sure thing, huh?
I am, and I'm really, really hoping for it. It's my number one thing right now.
Why are you so in on Darnold?
Because if Darnold turns out to be good and they say, we're going to take it, you take that number 2 pick and you trade it for the world. And you just sprinkle the whole field around him with talent on offense and defense. You could have the most talented roster this side of the Chiefs. It's a huge risk because if Darnold turns out to be Mitch Trubisky, they're like, well, we don't have a quarterback. But if he turns out to be good and it's a whole different deal with him, then we have a contender. Like, it's that good. So I just hope. Zach Wilson is very promising. Remember how promising Sam Darnold was? Yeah. He's had a few years. He had Mono. He had Adam Gase. Like,
what's the difference between him and Tua to you?
Sam Darnold, I think, is more talented than Tua. I do.
Okay.
I really do.
With what you've seen in his short NFL career is more impressive than what you saw in 2006
Tua was pulled off the
and
field by the coach that drafted him in some of the biggest moments of the season. That tells me a lot about him. And I have my doubts.